Hello, and Patriarch Panda here, and I just wanted to go over something that has been a clear problem as of recently, and that is Potemkin in the current meta. So when the new patch dropped, it was very exciting at the time. A lot of people were obviously hyped up. Oh my god, they fixed Potemkin, 5p match is going to be great, Flick is going to be great. And even at that, he is still a character that struggles. There's a reason why he's in the bottom too. And I kind of want to talk about today what the after honeymoon thoughts are of Potemkin in this current patch. And I'm going to use very different examples to kind of get into. And one of the main ones that I need to get into right away is number one, bad matchups. The thing about Potemkin and playing him in this current meta is that because there's so many important bad matchups, and not just like bad matchups as in like a bedman, right? Like, it don't matter if you have to fight like a bedman, right? Bedmans aren't popular, but when it comes to the popular bad matchups, it means that the character is played a lot and at the highest level, right? And that's the thing that makes Potemkin struggle in this game. It's not his sense of like him being weak. I think he's quite solid now. It's just that because the top tiers are very well played, there's a large majority of those players, is that Potemkin needs to compete against the top tiers, and that is some of his worst matchups. So some of his worst matchups definitely go to Happy Chaos, Jacko, Gold Lewis, and Bacon. There are a couple of others, but they're not that bad. They're definitely fightable. But in this game, if those four are your tournament killers, they're very popular in tournaments right now. Like, Saul Bad Guy kind of got worse, but not too worse. You can still fight that, even though he's still a popular character. Kai got a whole lot worse. He's tough for a fight in this patch, and there's a lot of popular Kais that play this game. And the problem is, a lot of these meta-defining characters are popular. Chip, right? Very popular character. You see him a lot in tournaments. We all know Bean, right? When it comes to the NA scene, he plays that game amazingly. And then you continue on to like the EMEA scene, you've got a lot of really good players of a lot of different characters, right? Tiger Pop and the Happy Chaos. And then you've got like Carrot playing both Jacko, right? And Melia. I mean, recently I think it's been more Jacko gameplay, and again, that dominates against Potemkin, and that's one of the things I want to get into, is that, again, his matchups aren't that great. To talk more about his matchups not being too good, is that these characters are, again, like I said, popular. So you'll see them a lot in bracket. You'll see them a ridiculous amount in bracket. You'll see 5 different Gold Lewises. You'll see 3 different like Bacons. You'll see 4 different Happy Chaoses. And that's what you need to fight. The rest of the cast, you can fight mid tiers, you can fight low tiers as Potemkin, right? But if you have to fight any of these tournament characters, you have an immediate tough time because your character struggles to fight these characters, right? Gold Lewis gets in, your defense is okay, but like at the end of the day, White Wild Assault is nasty, and Gold Lewis's mix is some of the scariest in the game when he gets in, and Pot doesn't have the answers, and when he does, it's a gamble for life. It's a scary situation, right? Another one that I neglected to mention was Nagori Yuki. He got stronger this patch, and I always thought Potemkin did well against Nago. But because of the White Wild Assault, overhead low mix, he's not just mids anymore. You can't just fuzzy jump him anymore. You need to block high low. You need to prepare for a mix. And that's what makes him so scary to fight in this patch, because all of a sudden Nago gets in, you need to hold high low command grab, right? High low grab, high low grab, grab, low high. And that's what makes him scary. And he's a big body that has a lot of health, and he also has White Wild Assault, meaning he can kind of just like ignore Potemkin. So there's a lot of characters that can definitely deny Potemkin the chances of getting out on defense and offense, because he doesn't have an invulnerable super besides Heavenly PRC. But yeah, the other bad matchups, as we know, Jacko, it's just a hell of a neutral battle. You can't really fight into it. When she gets you in the corner, it's kind of checkmate. You have to learn how to do JIBs, which are very difficult to do, but once you do that, you stop her from being like plus 12 to all of a sudden like plus 2. And it is important because you're able to call out massive gaps like you couldn't before. But again, it's a difficult matchup with a very difficult answer, and that's why fighting Jacko is so tough as Potemkin. Next one is Bacon, and that's because Bacon's neutral is so disgusting a fight against as Potemkin, right? Your buttons will probably miss her because of how small she is and how she can space you out. She's a very good whiff punisher. Farslash is a really good button. JS is an insanely good button. They also have 2H, which isn't that good, but like it definitely has the reach and can call out backdashes and stuff like that. Bacon's a scary character, especially for Kabari. There's not really a safe zone to be against her, and that what makes the neutral so tough to fight as Potemkin. And when you get in, it's a volatile 50-50 where you have to guess against parry or you have to guess against block. And then they can fuzzy jump, and then there's like so many layers, and all of a sudden your offense looks fake. You can't Garuda anymore. If they aren't parrying Garuda, that Bacon needs to check themselves. They need to step up their game. Next one is Happy Chaos, and as we know, it's Happy Chaos. I don't need to get into it. He's a very strong character, has access to full screen zoning, which Potemkin doesn't even worry about too much. He doesn't even worry about that aspect about Happy Chaos, but what he needs to worry about is if he's at low health against Happy Chaos, because now armor is a gamble. And the other thing is that when he's in, you need to call him out every time. And if you mess up, Happy Chaos gets a knockdown, and just like that, you are looped in the corner. You need to hold his pressure, he'll knock you through a hard knockdown with the Wild Assault, and then he just keeps looping that pressure over and over again until he kills you, right? And that's what makes that matchup difficult. I don't think it's as bad as like Bacon or Goldlewis, right? But it's up there, man. It's really up there. So that's one of the problems of fighting Happy Chaos, is that it's just so strong. And that is why Potemkin is lacking when it comes to tournament scenes, because he has to fight all these bad matchups. Obviously, you'll see the occasional like Potemkin pop up, but you'll always notice something, which is one of those matchups are never present. Yeah, when it comes to a lot of these matchups, you know, you'll notice that when the Potemkin plays in tournament, they always tend to lose in that matchup. And if they win, they don't get far. The best you'll see is a top 8er, right? And that is the problem with Potemkin. At best, he's a top 8er. Him winning tournaments are so rare. It's insanely rare. It might be more rare for Amelia to win it in my mind, but like Potemkin winning it is like really, really rare. Like again, there's probably rare characters. I'm not saying Potemkin's bottom 1. I'm just saying he's bottom 2. The next problem I get into with Potemkin is mostly his tool set. They still need some help, right? So getting a mash tool, we got that. We needed that. Greatly appreciated, right? Megafist getting nerfed kind of sucked because you destroyed our Oki on most of ourselves now. If I do a 5p anti-air, I need to have Garuda, and sometimes they aren't high enough for a Garuda follow-up, meaning Megafist was always the best option, now it isn't. You've kind of ruined my Oki in that sense, and any combo that ends in Megafist now needs to be reiterated into some kind of meter setup to get Oki now. So you fixed one of our problems, which was Megafist on hit, and then you took it away by making it Megafist on hit in any situation never gives Oki. So unless we're using Megafist raw as a read, it's no longer going to give us Oki. And that is wild to me that we no longer have Oki in these situations, because it means that Potemkin, the character that needs Oki to win, can't confirm Garuda anymore. He can't confirm these setups anymore. So he's lacking in that regard. He's lacking in the Megafist nerf, which was so big. It was so big, but nobody knows. But it was so massive. The next thing that Potemkin struggles with is overall his game plan. This is one that will never change, and it makes sense, right? It's Potemkin, right? Which is his 50-50 game plan. It is a strike throw character based around Garuda. The thing is, though, you need a knockdown that gives Garuda, and if you get that knockdown that gives Garuda, you do get your mix. You do get your confirmed 50-50, 40% damage either or. And that is fair. That is fair. Unironically, you fight so hard for that as Potemkin. It is fair that you get this 50-50. But the problem is, at the end of the day, it's not a safe 50-50. You need meter to make it safe, right? You look at Goldlewis main, he does a high-low, it's safe. That's the problem. Like, with Goldlewis, is that he's a better pot when it comes to offense, because when he's in, there's no getting rid of him. Right, you need to use meter, you need to use burst to get rid of him, whereas Potemkin, you kind of don't gotta care. It's like, okay, I'll guess the 50-50. I jumped when you did Pot Buster, I'm out. I know you have another bar meter, but like, again, you need to waste that. You need to waste that bar meter, call me out. And that's one of the problems with Potemkin. He's so meter dependent. He's beyond meter dependent. You look at every member in this cast, meter is an extension or a bonus, right? This even includes Goldlewis, right? 684 PRC is a bonus. It's insanely good. It's probably one of the best neutral tools in the game in my mind, besides gun. Besides gun, I'll say that right now. Besides gun, but Potemkin needs to use Hammerfall Break PRC. He needs to use Hammerfall Gigantor. He needs to use Hammerfall Hit into Garuda. He needs to use meter to get in, and that's one of his problems. He doesn't have meter to save his ass when he's wrong now. So because he's so meter dependent. If you guess incorrectly after getting in with meter, you're kind of screwed again. You're back into neutral, or you get 40%, you get 50%, or hell, you're fighting Nago, you get 70%. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen, and that's one of the problems. Is like his game plan will always be not that good. But what can we do to fix him now? Because we got one of all the key fixes that we've been wanting. Honestly, if you want to fix him, you need to make him like top 5 strong. Right? And a lot of people say, I don't want a busted Potemkin, but they don't realize what busted Potemkin means. They're too used to playing all these top tiers, they're not used to the low tier, right? They don't understand what a low tier truly is. When Bridget mains got nerfed, they were like, we're bottom 5 now. No, you're not. You do not know what a low tier is. You do not know what a mid tier is. Do not say that. You do not get to say that, you know? So that's one of the problems, is like, Potemkin as a low tier needs help. He still needs it. He still fucking needs help. And that is crazy to me that he still needs help as a character that has a really good 50-50. His 50-50 is insanely good, but in every other situation in the game, he's bad. You fight him in neutral, it's bad. His walk speed, bad. Jump game, bad. And that's one of the problems with him. He needs either some kind of mobility special, or he needs some kind of buff in the next patch. He needs something that'll make him wild, and that is the only way to really fix Potemkin. If we make all these minor fixes, it doesn't change his problem, which is iffy game plan. We need a busted change. We genuinely need something busted if we want him to work, and that is the end of the line for me. This character needs something busted at work, and it's crazy because it's like they'll give characters like Giovanna actual Garuda. They gave her Garuda that you can't deflect, and I'm like, why? Why did they give her this? You just gave her Garuda. You confirmed that she's the best grappler now. It's wild to me. It's wild. It's crazy how much Potemkin needs help. But yeah, that's all I have to say. After the honeymoon period, Potemkin is still bottom, still needs help, and we need to get anything at this point. We need anything. But that's Patriarch Panda. Leaving on a sad note, but on the plus side, thank you for listening, and if you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully the next patch gives us that funny that we need. But until then, enjoy your mid-tier, fellas. Bye!